Guys, amazing, subhanallah, the connection the people of the past had with the Qur'an. When I say past, I'm not talking about the time of the Sahaba. I'm talking about less than 200 years ago. It was amazing. Today people are not connecting with the Qur'an. And because they're so far away from the Qur'an, in terms of understanding it, in terms of relating it to the time they're living in, you see them in distress. Allah has given you a lot of the answers in the Holy Qur'an that you're looking for, which will give you your peace of mind, which will give you comfort at heart. I was just reading the tafsir of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, rahimahullah ta'ala rahmatan wasi'ah, one of the freedom fighters of India. And in the introduction, he mentions something really astonishing. So he basically says, when I was under house arrest in a place called Ranchi, he was very limited from, delivering discourses during this period of time, or even teaching, and or possibly even fighting for freedom, the freedom of India against the British. He says, I was under house arrest, and coincidentally, as I came out from the masjid after Salatul Isha, I saw a person behind me slowly following me. And this person was as if he needed something from me. So I turned around and I saw a person wrapped in a sheet, wrapped around in like a shawl. So I said, who are you? Do you need something from me? What are you looking for? Etc. He wanted to inquire with regards to the matter. So this person responded by saying, this person basically responded to Maulana Abul Kalam by saying, I've literally traveled the distance. I've walked on foot from Kandahar, which is modern day Afghanistan, from there to Kuwaita, and in Kuwaita I was hired as a worker by some common people from the same area that I live in, so to speak. And then these people, I worked for them until they basically sent me off in one way or another to Agra. And then from Agra I came here by foot. So you're talking about a month of traveling by foot, going from one area to another area, working to find the means to get to where Sheikh Abul Kalam Azad was located in Ranchi. So Sheikh Abul Kalam was astonished. So Maulana Abul Kalam rahimahullah was really astonished. He's like, why did you go through all that difficulty, coming all the way from Afghanistan to where I am, a month's journey possibly? Why did you go through this difficulty? So this Kandahari man responded by saying that when I was in Kandahar, I came across some of the articles that you wrote in your newspapers. And by that time, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad had founded two main newspapers, which I believe the British had put certain restrictions on, or they even banned those articles or those newspapers completely. So these two newspapers that he found were, I believe, called Al-Hilal, one of them, and the second one was Al-Balagh. So this Kandahari man said, I came across certain articles related to the message of the Qur'an and how the Qur'an relates to us in this trivial time that we're living in. And because I was so inspired by these articles, I had to force myself to make the journey to come and meet you and possibly actually study some aspects of the Qur'an from you directly that I don't understand. Like, subhanallah, amazing. You would read stories like this in the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, but this is literally less than, I believe, 200 years ago. Wallah, amazing. So Maulana Abul Kalam Azad basically gave this Kandahari man a few personal discourses, one-on-one lessons, because he was unable to give public lessons due to his house arrest. And he says that this person, benefited from the discourses, and without telling me, he just disappeared. Boom, just like that, gone, within a blink of an eye. And I thought to myself, this individual possibly did not tell me that he was going back home before he left, due to the fear of me offering him certain provisions to make his journey on the way back home easy. So he says, Maulana Abul Kalam says, this individual might have taken the same harsh journey back home through the ups and downs and the trials and the tribulations and living at the mercy of certain merchants and the whatnots. And he says, I don't even know if this man is alive or dead now. I don't even remember his name if I was to remember his name. He says in the introduction of his tafsir, Tarjuman al-Qur'an, he says, if I was to remember this Qandahari man's name, I would have named this book, this tafsir of the Holy Qur'an, after this man. And he actually ended up writing this tafsir of the Holy Qur'an while he was in prison. Allahu Akbar. This was the dedication that people had in relation to the Qur'an. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad rahimahullah was an amazing scholar, amazing person, who was inspired with looking at matters with farsightedness. And majority of what Maulana Abul Kalam Azad rahimahullah had to say with regards to the division of the ummah in that time incidentally came to life in our time. Everything he spoke about in terms of the partition of India and Pakistan, how the Muslim ummah will become weak, how the Muslims in Pakistan will not be able to assist the Muslims living in India, and the Muslims in India will not be able to assist the Muslims living in Pakistan. Anyways, that's a whole different story. But yes, connect with the Qur'an. Wallah, it will bring contentment to your hearts. I know people who don't connect with the Qur'an and call themselves the most practicing Muslims. How can we basically claim that practical aspect of our religiosity when we are in a way ignoring the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So read the Qur'an on a daily basis, connect with it, understand it. Some people say, oh, astaghfirullah, how can I read the translation? I'll be misguided. Read the translation of the Qur'an. If you don't understand something, go to your scholars. Assalamu alaikum.